Hey guys, I'm Colwen. These are my ladies. Space Squid is resting because this is just gonna be me ranting and showing off some Legos. I went through that whole big old bin of Legos and oh, crikey, hold on a second. Okay, that's better. I'm not gonna stop recording, but I am gonna step over here and grab my drink. So, let me show off a few of the things that I got. I got this really unique piece. I don't know if these go together or not, but it's like, I don't know what it's like, but it's got like a control scheme on there or something, and the back is interesting. I don't know what these go to, but this is some type of Hydra tank thing. So my hope with these Legos was to be able to sell them off and make some of my money back on this bin, but, and this ties into what I'm going to rant about. So, when I sorted these all out, I put up pictures of them on one of my Facebook Messenger groups, and I said, hey, I'm looking to sell or trade these. And I said I wanted, $30 for the Lego Adventure set. That's these things right here. These are all the Lego Adventure parts I was able to dig out. And I've got other adventure stuff and extra heads and stuff and all that. And then I wanted X amount for the Marvel stuff and X amount for the DC stuff, and like nobody responded. But these are cool. We got the zombie pharaoh, and I have an extra. Oh, wait, he's actually right there. So yeah, I've got 2 zombie pharaohs. I got a skeleton guy. Got the camera and like extra pieces for both the adventurers and the sarcophagi and all that. These apparently aren't worth as much as I thought they would be, even though these are 20-year-old Legos, because Lego Adventurer was out in the late 90s, but whatever. I'll find a use for them. And then I've got these DC figures. Got like a space Batman, but I don't have the helmet. And this is Nightwing, and we got a Green Lantern. And I ended up with a Yellow Lantern, a Penguin, and Joker. And so what sucks is even though I said, hey, I don't know anything about Legos, this is what I'd like to get for them, but if you guys think differently, make a counter offer. If somebody would have said, I'd give you $50 for the whole box, $40 for the whole box, I probably would have said, okay, yeah, sure, I'll mail that out. Some of these I did want to keep before I sent them out. I got some Native American minifigures out of there. And we got these old school 80s, early 90s figure bodies, which are fun. Apparently the only one in here that's really worth anything is these 2 guys in the front here. And apparently these guys are maybe worth $5 for both of them, because they're beat up and they're not in good shape and all that. It's fine. I got a scuba gear Batman. And these ones I was really happy to get. A Leonardo and a foot soldier. That's cool. And we got a bunch of these bitchin' flame pieces. And these things, I'm really glad I got 3 of these even. So, what annoyed me is, even though I said make a counteroffer, that this is a repeating thing where I will say something and people will say, oh, you mean this, you mean that, and they will literally be changing the words in the sentence. I had a landlady do this to me one time. She was convinced that any form of heat on her granite countertops will cause them to shatter and explode. Like, no, any kind of heat on a granite countertop will cause discoloration to the top of it because it's damaging the plastic clear coat maybe, but it will not cause the thing to blow up. And I had already agreed, yeah, sure, I'll put down a towel if I gotta put something hot on the counter. It was fine, you know, but she wouldn't let this shit go. Finally, I looked up a video on YouTube and I asked the question, can heat damage granite? And I found a video that said, oh yeah, can heat damage granite? And I go to show her this video. And before even watching the video, she says, see, heat can damage granite. You read the sentence, can heat damage granite, and you interpret that as heat can damage granite. Don't even watch the video. Don't even get fucking educated, because in the video, the gentleman took 2 pieces of granite countertop. He stuck them in a toaster oven. And he time forwarded it and all that. Okay, yeah, but he heated these pieces of granite up to 450 degrees in a toaster oven. He pulled them out. They're not broken. They're solid. Hey, check this out. Take a squirt bottle. It steamed. It hissed. Did it crack and break? No. Then he took a hammer and he lightly tapped on it. They didn't break. And he tapped on it a little bit harder. They didn't break. Finally, he reared up and just slammed it down, and it cracked. It split. They make granite countertops out of granite because granite is a volcanic rock. A volcanic rock isn't going to care if you put a pan on top of it that was at 300 degrees, because a volcanic rock is lava. It is created under thousands of degrees. But no, you get one idea in your head, you get one belief in your head, and it runs your entire fucking life. You switch words around, and they say autistic people are overly sensitive. Neurotypical people, y'all get pissed off about the stupidest fucking things. I've got a set of Captain America. I don't know if this America is supposed to have that Thor hammer, but I have another model set with Thor figures, and they have their own Thor hammer, so he gets his own hammer. I got a Hobgoblin and Spider-Man. This one, I like this one. This one's cute. Little surfer babe. And I got these little cool mailbox things even. These interesting DC pieces were in there. We got these flat plates. There were several, like 3 or 4 Lego Friends figures in there. I like these figures. There's at least a princess 1 or 2 in there, and some lower torsos. But this one I'm really happy to get. Having a ghost. This is one that I was gonna keep. Yeah. It's. People say autistic people need to try harder. See, there's the problem with always doing your best. Alright? If you were always doing your best, that wouldn't be your best, that'd be your norm. Okay? The Enterprise D can fly warp 9.99999, and that's the maximum speed. Warp 10, you can't go warp 10. But normally she cruises around warp 5. Why? Because if you go warp 9.99999 all the time, the engine's gonna blow up. If you do your best all the time, you're gonna get worn out and broken, and that's a problem with not just autistic people. Okay, I will give you, that's a problem with everyone nowadays. I mean, look at Amazon. Look at warehouse workers. They push those guys and push those guys as hard as they can, and then they wonder why they break. But with autistic people, we are emotionally and psychologically being pushed to our limits all the time, and we say, hey, back off. Hey, you're stressing me out. Or we decouple and we become silent and all that other shit, and nobody wants to acknowledge. It's always about, learn to read. The autistic person is always being told to learn how to read other people's behavior so that you don't misunderstand, and be careful if they misunderstand you. And oh shit, this might still have fluid in it. It does still have fluid in it. Wow, I've got all kinds of partially loaded vape carts around here. That's the sucky thing about these vape carts. I got at least 10 of them on the table here and over there. And we're just supposed to throw these in the fucking trash. I am seriously going to make an attempt to crack these things open and recover the lithium-ion battery in there and use it to make dioramas and stuff. That would be really, really cool for filming. Yeah, that was me showing off my new Lego minifigures. New/used/ whatever the fuck. And ranting about another autistic bullshit thing. And it is really fucked up that in our society right now there is a 1% that do nothing, and they gaslight and bully everyone else to bust their asses and work really, really hard, and we're not getting anywhere. We're not. So, sorry if this is a bummer of an episode, but it's truthful. I heard that in the big beautiful bill, apparently they want to raise income tax on people that make less than $50,000 a year. That'd be me. That'd be me. I remember, I make $12 an hour 5 days a week. I get $400 a week. That's like six. I'm making less out here than I was making in California. I could not survive out in California on $12 an hour, man. I'm barely surviving it out here. But apparently they wanted to raise the income tax from 20% to 75%. So I'd go from take home $400 a week to $100 take home a week. I can't even afford my cell phone on that. And they want to give tax breaks to the topper. I don't get why these rich motherfuckers need 20-room houses when it's usually like 2 or 3 people in the family. Like here, I get why the ceiling is tall in here, because originally it was built to park an RV, but, he's got tall machines and stuff in here, and, we got plans for putting a second floor in. We got plans for putting a second floor in here. The space we're intending a use for it. But why do you need these big old 30-foot tall ceilings and just houses are too expensive anymore. Just everything is. The American dream was you work hard at a job and you just do your job and you'll have enough money to have a house and a wife and a car and a couple of kids, and everyone's going to be comfortable. And that dream has been slowly chopped away. I'm going to go smoke some more weed and build a model. I'm Colwen. That was me showing off Legos and bitching about autism and bitching about life. I hope you enjoyed watching and got something out of it. Bye.